Hello everyone, welcome to Kishore Chess Mentor. In today's section, we shall see some of the interesting games in chess. To start with, I am planning to put a series of videos in interesting endgames, and this is the first video in the series. And today I have chosen four positions which I feel are quite relatable to each other in terms of the themes. So let's start with the position one. So this is the position wherein white is having a rook, whereas black is having three pawns. White is having a rook and a pawn. And in terms of material, it is quite evident that white is ahead in material. But what is the difference? The difference lies that the pawn is there on the 7th rank. Say one more square, it is going to become a queen. So having said that, if it was white's move, white can try to give a check, and then the king can go back, and he can give a check, and the king can come back. So this is a never-ending thing. So giving check is going to result only in a draw. So say for example, if white wanted to win this game, so what can he try? So let us see some of the options. So let's say if he takes the pawn, king takes, king goes back, king comes here, king goes, king comes, and king goes here, king comes here, king has to take the base pawn, and the king comes here, and king takes this pawn, king comes here. So what happened now is that white has achieved the opposition, and having said that, it is a rook pawn as well, and the king has to come out, say b7 or something like that, so that the pawn will get advanced. But how is he going to achieve it? If the king goes back, he is going to come here, and king goes back, he is going to come here, and if king goes back, he is going to go back, and he is going to take control of the square a8, where it is going to prevent the pawn from getting queen. Okay, on the other hand, say for example, if king goes here, okay, king goes here, okay, so instead of this one, there is one more thing, that is say king here. Okay, if king here, then it's king here, and he will take the pawn for t. Okay, so king here, and now let's say for example, instead of moving the king, okay, let us see what if he moves the pawn. The king will go here. Black's idea is going to be very simple, that is the king either he will take the opposition, and he is not going to let the king out of this particular a rank, a5. So what will happen is that king goes to c7, and if king goes back to b5, then king goes here, and we know that rook pawn is going to be a draw, so pawn here, king here. So pretty much king goes back, king comes here, pawn here, and it's a stalemate. Okay, so king goes back and pawn here, and it's a stalemate. So having said this, okay, so what else can we try? Is there any other thing that which we can try? Let's say for example, the rook goes back, and again it's the same story. Pawn here, queens, rook into, king into. Let us see if this is making a difference. King here, king here, king into, king here. And now again, it is the same opposition, and the thing is it's a rook pawn, and the king is not allowed to come outside of this particular a file, and it's again a draw. So if white wanted to win this position, so what can he do? Okay, so having said this, there is an interesting move here which white can play, that is rook to h1. So black has to capture it. Okay, so the moment black captures it, can play king f2. Okay, so now pawn moves, because this is a forced one. The king cannot make any move, the pawn cannot move. The only move that black can do is b5. So this is the first one, a b5, pawn here, and we queen first. The difference is queen here, checkmate. Okay, so this is one, and the whole point here is that we need to see that, okay, whether we wanted to go for a win or a draw. Okay, so if you wanted to go for a win, I think we need to see moves like this. And if we think that, okay, anyway the pawn is there on the 7th rank and he is going to promote it, so it's better to settle with a draw. We won't see such moves, such interesting moves, which are quite brilliant, right? So rook h1 makes all the difference here, and he cannot do anything apart from, let's say, if you wanted to play king here, then I think there is no point here. Okay, so the thing is the king can go here. Okay, so there is no need to give the rook also. Okay, king here, king goes back, so there is no point in playing moves like this. Okay, so having said this, let's get back to position number 2. So the position number 2 is related to this one. I mean, like whatever we saw, so the idea is the same. Okay, let's say for example in this particular position, okay, I mean like if you let black to play, okay, or let's say he will plan to play a1, correct. So he will plan to play a1, and you know what, the difference is it is white's move, okay, and he is going to play a1 anyway, okay. So if you let him, he will play a1, and you will take pawn and bishop into, king into, and then king goes back. So I will show you that position also, bishop here. So before getting into this, let's say for example, what if it was a okay, bishop here, king into, king here. So again, I mean like this is some sort of same position like which we saw before. The only thing is, I mean it's a bishop instead of a rook. So pawn here. This is a forced move because there is no move for the a1 king, or no move for a2 pawn. So pawn here, pawn here, pawn here, pawn here. King into is forced. King here, pawn here queens, pawn here queens, queen to c2 checkmate. So I hope like you understand this one, like it is the same theme as like what we saw in the last position. Okay, so I mean like we are restricting the king to a particular square, like wherein like it cannot move anywhere from there, wherein like we are forcing black to move his pawns. So I mean like he won't feel like he is having a stalemate option, so he is having his moves, meanwhile like we are bringing the queen and giving checkmate in the meanwhile. Okay, so now let's get back to position number 3. Okay, so this is an interesting one. Say for example, I mean black is going to promote to g1 the next move. Okay, so if it was black's move, he is going to play g1 and he is going to take a queen for sure. And okay, so let's see like how white can stop this one. I don't think like white can stop this one with king, okay, because it's 3 squares high, and I mean like there is one pawn, okay, there is no point in stopping it, and the bishop, okay, so the only square for the bishop to stop the pawn from getting promoted is the bishop to d4. There is no other way, and the moment bishop goes to d4, then king takes the bishop, okay. So we tend to feel that, oh my god, the bishop is gone, and I mean like anyways like both of them are going to take the queens. But the difference lies here is that in case if you move, let's say if you make a move like say uh, b8 and take a queen, he's going to take a queen, okay. And we tend to feel that, I mean it's quite an equal game and we will play for a draw or something like that, but instead there's a brilliant move here, that is bishop d4. So the king has to take it, otherwise the bishop is going back to g1, okay. So the king will take it, and what happens is that pawn comes queen, queen. So that's the difference that which we have made with bishop d4, that is both the king and the queen are in the same diagonal. If you see here, so this is the reason why we played bishop d4 in the first place. Now queen a7, and you win the queen and the game as well. Okay, so this is position 3, and finally like let's come back to position number 4. Okay, so this is an interesting position in terms of queen versus rook, and mostly like queen versus rook will be I mean like advantages for the one like who is having the queen. Okay, so but here in this position this is quite an exception. So these positions whichever I'm sharing with you are quite exceptions, but I mean like that can happen in the game. So we tend to think that, I mean like this can be a win or a draw, okay, and I mean like the results can be otherwise also. Rook here check, king here, rook here, king here, king here. So king here, rook here. So what's happening here is that king takes rook and it's a stalemate. Okay, so let's say for example, let me think of the other moves. Okay, king here, rook here. Let me come the other way around. Okay, so rook here check. Okay, king here. So if king goes here, then it's going to pin, and I mean like I'm going to win the queen. So let's say instead of king here, he goes king here, and I go rook here and king here. Say king here, and now again what? Rook here. Okay, and if king goes here, I can pretty much move my rook here. Okay, the king has to capture the rook, and it's again a stalemate. So basically, like in such end games, okay, whenever there is an end game, we need to think that we need to break the rules. Okay, so I mean, like in terms of understanding the position, okay, where the pawns are, where the pieces are, and what difference can it make? Okay, it is not that I mean, like seventh rank pawn is going to become a queen, and I have to trade off my rook as we seen in the first position, or let's say I have to take a queen as in the second position for the bishop. So we need to restrict the opponent's king. We need to understand that, like how can I make it work? Okay, so I hope like you have liked these positions, and there will be a series of videos like after this one. So hope you have liked it. And if you like this video, you can like, comment, and share. If you want to see more videos like this, you can subscribe to my channel, Kishore Chess Mentor. Thank you so much.